Good evening and welcome to Sundays with Neelu. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for all your story responses. My prayers and best wishes to everyone. Coming to this week's story. This week's story's title is The Only Tailor in the Village. So once there was a tailor in a village. His name was Suresh. And Suresh was very busy, a busy tailor. He used to sew the clothes for the entire village because the entire village there was since there was no other tailor who would stitch so well. They everyone used to flock at Suresh's shop, and everyone used to ask him to stitch clothes. So festivities, death, anything they had to go to Suresh and request him to stitch their clothes. So this tailor slowly became the only tailor. He started making so much money and he became very arrogant. So as days passed by, he started behaving very rudely with people. He would abuse them. He would be so angry with them, and he would send them away. He would keep their clothes for days, and he would not return them to the people who have given them to stitch. He would prefer rich people over poor people. All sorts of things he started doing because he became very arrogant. So as this was going on, to that village came a lady who was very poor. She had one son, and that was she had no livelihood. So she came to that village and she decided to stay there. So she went to this tailor, the only tailor in the village, and she requested him, "Would you please care to give me some work? Because I know how to stitch clothes and I can help you." So Suresh, got very angry. He said that, "What nonsense! You're looking so poor and you don't have any status. Just get lost. And I have enough work and I don't share my work with anyone. Please go from here." So the poor lady goes away from there, and then she sits under a tree, thinks for a very long time, and starts working here and there. And finally, she gets a loan and she buys a sewing machine and she starts stitching clothes. So the moment this lady starts stitching clothes, slowly people start trying, her shop. So as they start going to her place, then they realize that she's a very good tailor and she sews clothes very well. So people start going there, and slowly her shop becomes bigger and bigger, and she becomes very popular. Yeah, and she's the second tailor in that village who's like, already stitching clothes. So the only tailor, Suresh, starts getting jealous, and slowly his customers starts going, they go away to that lady's, the poor lady's shop, and she is no more poor because she starts making a lot of money. So this lady starts stitching clothes and Suresh starts feeling jealous. So there comes a point where he burns with jealousy and he starts like, he feels like throwing her out of that shop. But nothing happens. So she keeps growing higher and higher because she was very skilled. So this man's wife, she observes, yeah, the tailor's wife observes, and she thinks she needs to do something about it. So one day she goes to the lady, yeah, Lady Tailor, and she asks her, "So could you please give me, some time? I want to talk to you." So, and she says, "Could you please sell your shop to us? Because my husband I have saved money and I want to give this shop to my husband because my husband is not being able to work anymore and he feels very angry and frustrated." So this lady who's very humble, yeah, who came from another village, she says, I was anyway planning to leave this village because I had to go somewhere else. So she says, "I don't mind selling my shop." So she offers, this tailor's wife offers a very handsome amount. So that lady accepts, the tailor accepts, and she leaves that shop and that village and she goes away with her son. So in between, yeah, the tailor, the man, yeah, Suresh, he starts burning with anger and jealousy, and he decides to burn that shop. So that night he goes and he puts the shop, yeah, on fire. He burns away that shop, that lady's shop, the poor lady's shop, and it burns into ashes. So he feels good. He comes home and he tells his wife, "I have burned that entire shop." And his wife looks at him, you know, aghast, and she looks at him from top to bottom and she says, "You know what? That lady and her son left this village. I bought that shop as a gift for you. I wanted to surprise you." And the man looks in despair, holds his head, and sits down. Yeah, there ends the story. So, one particular emotion, which is jealousy, we all go through it, but we cannot identify it. When it grows bigger and bigger, we don't know. So, why do people feel jealous? From what I understand, they feel inadequate somewhere. They feel that something is less in them and more in someone else. And when they see that, they start feeling jealous. And jealousy is something which can be under control. If we recognize it, address it, we can always keep it under control. So, this story was about, how anger and jealousy can really bring you down. Yeah. So instead of feeling insecure, if we appreciate others and if we feel somehow try to address it with the help of our friends and family, we will be able to overcome it. This is what I feel. So while reading this story, The Only Tailor in the Village, I remembered my childhood. So when my father was a banker, he was posted in a village. I told you this several times. So in that village, there was only one tailor. Yeah, the title of this story reminded me of that. So, and I was in my I was 8 years old, I think. Yeah, 8 years old. And at that time, I used to have a doll. So this doll was so beautiful that I wanted to dress up my doll the best way. It should wear the best dress was what my aim was. So, and that place was a very small village where there was a lot of people from south and no one wore salwar kameez. So I wanted my doll to wear salwar kameez. So there was only one tailor in that village. So I would walk up to the tailor's shop every day. Evening program, after coming back from school, I would finish my homework, and at 5 o'clock I would walk to the tailor's shop, requesting him to stitch clothes for my doll. And the tailor would be so busy that he would always reject me. He would say, no, 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 not today. Please go, baby. Not today, not today. And he would give me respect because my father was a bank manager. So he would give me that much respect and say, no, baby, not today. Go, go, go. And I would get very frustrated. I would think, why is he not stitching a small dress for my doll? Yeah. So I would always go back home and feel disappointed, but I would never give up. And one fine day, I went at 5 o'clock and he said that I'll finish my work and then stitch it for you. I sat there for 2.5 hours. It was almost dark, 7:30. Till then I waited. And finally, I remember he stitched a very small, obviously it was a small doll. So a brown checkered dress, top. I think it was some clothes left over from someone's uniform and a brown salwar. And he also stitched 2 extra dresses and gave them as a gift to me. That's when I thanked him and I left that place. So it took me quite some time to get clothes stitched from that for my doll from that only tailor. So this is what I remembered. How do you feel when you see people who are better than you? Do you feel jealous and how do you address jealousy? And what did you actually feel about this story? Please put it down in the comment section. I will respond to all the comments related to the story. I'll see you again next Sunday, only on Sundays with Neelu with another new story. Till then, keep smiling. Bye.